Stephen Campbell exposed. So guys, I just want to point something out right here. A lot of people in my comments are upset about something that I said yesterday. And I said Chinese virus. And I want to apologize for that. And I want to tell you a few different things. You know, growing up, I come from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I come from a very multicultural neighborhood. As a matter of fact, the street where I grew up on and lived is called International Avenue. It's 17th Ave Southeast. You can look up International Ave. Some of my best friends growing up were Cambodian, Vietnamese, and I got no issues with anybody from anywhere. Now, I don't know where I heard Chinese virus the first time. I think I heard it in a YouTube video, and my Asperger's kicked in and I said it, and I apologize for that. Somebody pointed out, rightly so, that if my wife, if it came from the Philippines and my wife was crying because people were referring it to that, it would make me upset. And that's very, very true. So look, I screw up sometimes. I screwed up that time, and people are like, oh, now this guy, I have to unsubscribe him because he is a supporter of the president. Look, you can do whatever you want. I never said who I support. I never said who I don't support. And for the record, I think a lot of things like giving to charity and helping the sick out and making sure that nobody dies in the streets under regular conditions, let alone what we're going in right now, I think that's a good thing. I think charity is a good thing for people. I also happen to like low taxes and private companies. And, you know, so I'm both ways on the spectrum. So before you stick me in a little compartment and figure you know everything about me, just remember the only relationship we have is through a YouTube channel. So there's so much ambiguity and guessing. But again, I apologize if I offended anybody. I'm very, very sorry. My politics are simple, centrist, and I like the person with the right ideas, whoever that may be that comes along at the time, and that's all I'm going to go into. But today we're going to read some comments. I'm going to do another video on Vegas later on. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Make sure you like, share, subscribe this video. I sometimes read the comments and I want to crawl up into a corner and die, but then I remember I don't censor these things. You know, very, very seldom do I delete comments. I only delete comments when people start doing silly things like trying to research me and do a gotcha expose and all that kind of stuff. I'm a private person, so I don't like those kinds of things. And also, I don't like hate. If somebody's hateful, when YouTube's filter doesn't catch it, I'll delete your comment because I don't think it's good to be hateful. Once again, if you guys got offended, and I'm very, 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 very sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't want to upset people. And people say you should stop apologizing. I'm apologizing because what I said was wrong, and it's okay to admit you're wrong. And if more people in the world admitted they were wrong once in a while, the world might be a better place. But going on to reading some of your comments, Helasau, he said the Raiders gave $1 million and Drew Brees gave $5 million. And that's very true. Drew Brees, from the quarterback, if you don't know who he is, for the New Orleans Saints. Very, very charitable guy, and that was nice of him. Now, the Raiders did give $1 million, and I was a little tough on the Raiders, and that's okay. I can have my opinion, just like you can have yours, and that's cool. But we've got to remember they also gave $500,000 towards, I think, school, local charities here in Las Vegas, which was very nice. My only thing was, if you're an organization worth $3 billion, you could do a little better. But since somebody pointed out, if they didn't even say what they did, but they did announce it, then we wouldn't even be talking about it, and it would just be a nice thing for the community either way. So all good points all around. Pato Banten 420 said, they'll raise the resort fees and parking fees, but they'll have a hand sanitization fee for $40. This is in regards to how Vegas is getting cleaner, getting better, getting nicer. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of new fees. It would be interesting if they did replace one fee with another. It would be like the Coke, New Coke thing, which I've explained to you before, where Coke wanted to put high fructose corn syrup in there. Original formula, everybody hated the idea, but they hated the New Coke so much that when the classic Coke came out, as it was called afterwards, and they got rid of the New Coke, everybody was fine with it, but it had high fructose corn syrup in it. Interesting theory. We'll see what they do. I don't know. Maybe they'll just increase the room rates and keep the resort fees the same, but there's some killer deals for room rates from what I've seen, so you might want to look into coming back. Now, James Cox says, I'm a high IQ blogger. I don't know about that. I don't know IQ. IQ was invented by a French scientist. Intelligence quotient, it was just the ability to gauge a child's capacity to learn. They say that high IQ people have a high capacity to learn. I don't think I'm a high IQ blogger. I'm just a person that talks on camera, and I appreciate that nice comment. We had Gary Conklin asking about the Chinese virus thing, and somebody answered, Steven is a good guy, but if some of the people on his board are friends, this was Will Jacobs, if some of the people on this board are friends like I suspect they are, that raises red flags. Well, I have 15,000 subscribers. I don't talk to 15,000 people. My brain would explode. There's 1,000 people in my Facebook group, and of that, there's a small slice of people that actually communicate with me on a regular basis that reach out to me. Maybe I should reach out to more of my subscribers, but there's only so much time in the day. Anyways, we're going to move on. Lots of wrong info, Sin City Titan says about the weeklies. I answered back that one of the one place where Metro said they did the most calls, it was in the Review Journal last week, was to a weekly. Metro came out almost twice a day to that place. It was ridiculous. It's a harbor island on East Harmon Road. That's just a matter of fact. And so the weekly hotels in Las Vegas can be pretty tough. You know, that's a place where you go when you can't get a lease or you want to hide out. He then went and said that I am terrible for Vegas, and most of my facts are garbage, and that I should be ashamed of myself. Well, I get the facts, and I try to pass on the facts, and I try to not interject too much opinion, but now I'm ashamed of myself. Thanks so much, Sin City Titan. You truly are the Titan of Sin City. Well, Jacob said, try to figure out if this is your front or backyard, just a random place in your area. Don't answer this if you don't want to. Well, I'm not going to disclose where I film. I film where the wind isn't too bad in the springtime. Sometimes I even film in my car. Sometimes I take a drive. But, you know, I'm always filming in somewhere. And I always try to make a nice background with good audio for you. And Greg says, obviously, it's some sort of a park. Okay, fair enough. Jose Flores says, Steve, I really like your channel. Please stop saying COVID-19 Chinese virus. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. And then Sandra jokingly laughs, New York flu. See, that's another thing that if I said that, and I'm not going to say that because that's not true. It just so happens that New York City is the highest concentration of people in the United States outside of, say, San Francisco. And even then, the stats are skewed because San Francisco is very small. And the metropolitan area of New York with New Jersey and all these things are very big. It's a very big metropolitan area. I hope the people of New York are great. I have a very great subscriber who I play Facebook games with, and I won't say her name for privacy reasons, and she's a super sweet lady that I met in real life. Super nice people in New York. Some of my best friends are from New York, and they're really awesome people. And some of them are in my credits. They're just super good folks. You know, I know people, and that person in New York is in my credits on the Patreon. Randy says the National Guard has not been called out in Nevada. This is a fact. Yes, I live in Nevada. Also, the police are not asking anyone where they are going. Well, I'm just going off of what somebody told me at a gas station that was at the gas station. Maybe they lied to me. Maybe they told me a tall tale. I posted a link to how the Review Journal is telling about how the National Guard is working in Nevada. And they said, do you really believe everything our local news rag prints? Yes, I live in the Vegas Valley. None of that is taking place. Well, it's a bunch of National Guard vehicles. I know that half of them are missing. I know that that's a deal. If you guys want to see those National Guard vehicles, maybe you'll comment below. M. Turner says, now in Peru, Sunday, not allowed out or you will be arrested. Men and women will be assigned designated days they can leave their homes based on their gender. That's pretty serious. If Mr. M. Turner is in Peru, I want you to be safe out there. Peru's taking some tough stances. I've heard Poland has taken some good things, some good measures very early on, and I just pray for everybody, okay? Viktor Kraus says, thank you for letting us know about the Tiger King series, fascinating series. So here's the deal. I got to do a major retraction on the Tiger King as well. I referred to Jeff Lowe as the Tiger King. Obviously, it's Joe Exotic, and obviously I didn't watch the series, and obviously I told you, and if I said obviously enough, it should be obvious that I obviously didn't know exactly the whole story. So I made that video unlisted, which means that if you've seen the link to it, you can go back and watch it and comment on it if you like. But that was my shortcomings, not thinking, but I do know that Jeff Lowe is still a wanted man in the state of Nevada, and I do know that everybody in that documentary, from what I watched for 3 episodes so far, is guilty to some extent. One lady has a place in Florida where she rescues tigers, and she has bigger cages than the other guy. Everybody in this situation is keeping a tiger in a cage. Everybody is guilty of doing the same thing, and that's what sucks about it. Yvette Melancon says, get to the subject quicker. You babble too much. We don't need all the backstory. You digress too much. Maybe so, Yvette, but I do know that I like talking on camera, and whatever I'm doing, I'm always going to try to give some backstory to things, and I do have to do the promotional stuff, or else people will never subscribe to me. Richard Nichols says, dude, you're a bitter guy. This is regarding Tony Rodeo from Caesar's Palace, where I kind of tore him open because I didn't think that he was talking about... Sorry, I touched my face. I had that in my comments too. Stop touching your face. It's driving us crazy. This is referring to Tony Rodeo, the CEO of Caesar's Palace, and about how he did a whole video about the update on the horrible virus that we'll call CV, and how it's all about the players. Get the players here if you're a diamond or 5 stars or 7 emeralds or whatever it's called, and how he just focused on that, not on the people, not on the health and safety of his employees, not about paying them. So he says, dude, you're a bitter guy. Did he, Tony Rodeo, create this issue? You strike me as a Walmart warehouse employee who has figured out the world, but can't figure out how can a decent job. I'm not sure why I clicked on a guy making $15 an hour making videos. You have a face for radio, loser. Well, thank you so much, Richard Nichols, for lifting my spirits up and making me feel good today. And with that, I'll let you know that I read all my comments. Some of the comments are great. Some of them are just abusive. Ones that are abusive like that, I don't delete. The ones that tell me that I have a face made for punching and if they ever found me, they would kick my butt, I delete those and report those to YouTube for threatening violence upon me. But it is what it is, and I like to answer your comments. That's why I do live streams, and I make the videos so you guys will be informed about the city. So once again, if you're at this point in the video, I apologize if I offended anybody by calling it Chinese virus. I hope you guys have a great day out there. Remember, the person with the best ideas is the person that you should listen to right now. Cuomo in New York is giving some good uplifting stuff where he's telling people to have hope, and right now we have other people on the other side that are working really hard to figure out scientific facts and models to see how many people are going to be at risk. Everybody's working right now. I'd like to believe they're all working in the best interest of the people, and I will just leave it at that. So like, share, subscribe the videos. I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you in another one. Now's the part of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click, and we roll the credits. So 3, 2, 1, and click.